We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig. You decide when you lose, not other people. And Blabs.
I like pickles.
And co-hosted by our friends from around the internet. If you like common sense, hit that thumbs up button and, of course, the subscribe button. And join us Monday through Friday live at 11 a.m. Central Time. And now, broadcasting from our homes, it's time for the #1 gaming and entertainment podcast on God's green earth. It's time for Side Scrollers.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome on out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com and SideScrollersPodcast.com. And am I underwater, Blabs? Am I? Give me a yes or no. Kind of, sort of. That's okay. Well, hey, we're working on it every single day. Welcome on, everybody. Good to see everybody. It is Thursday, and we are back at it once again here on a wonderful week of chaos and insanity on the internet. Glad everybody's joined us. We've got a phenomenal panel today, starting as always with the one, the only Queen of Guam, Blabs.
I honestly forgot that you said you were going to turn off the audio. So when it did, I was like, oh my God, I've gotten deaf. It was like I was in a white room or something. It was just your voice and it was slightly underwater, but then it came back to life. So we're okay now. Anyway, hello, chat. It's Thursday.
All right, let's go. It is Thursday. We have a lot going. How's your day going? Everything good? Good start to the day?
Good. Yeah. I got mail today. I'm happy.
All right.
And it's not bills.
Yes.
Stuff I ordered.
Tell you what, there is something very wonderful about getting in the mail that isn't some sort of mail or some sort of bill or propaganda, right?
Yeah.
Something you need to do
Something you actually were looking forward to. You're like, yes, finally, something. Mm-hmm. I like mail day.
You like what?
Mail day.
All right. We got a couple great guests today, Blabs. Really excited to have both. We'll start off with from the other side of the world, staying up late with us. From some crazy continent, I don't even know. It's Raging Rhino. How are you?
Woo! From the future.
Yo,
no, it's not Thursday. It's not Thursday. It's Friday. It is Friday.
Uh-huh.
Sure.
Well,
In make-believe land.
Thanks for hanging out with us in the future. Appreciate you. Glad you're here.
No problem.
And joining us from the past, actually, I believe, the general, the God man of the Salty Army, it's Salty Cracker. How are you, buddy?
Hey guys, what's going on? Thank you for having me.
You are in the past, isn't that correct?
I'm perpetually stuck in the 80s. Yes.
The best place to be. The best place to be for sure.
Definitely. Look around.
You know, I always wonder about that. I've pondered this on the show before, but do you think that if social media existed in the 80s, people have been like, man, the 60s were the best, you know, or like if nostalgia would have I feel like if social media existed in previous times, we would have been seeing the exact same thing happening now at that just then. I don't know. Thoughts?
I don't know. I don't know about that. It's an interesting concept, though. Imagine chucking technology now back in the 80s.
Yeah.
It was like I saw a video the other day of somebody who took a video camera to school and they walking through their school. It was like in the 90s, I think. And like everybody just looks really social, really happy. And now you look at it, I think it cut actually to then a video of schools today and people just in their phones or like fighting
like this the entire time, right?
Yeah.
I've seen those. There's so many videos of people who like record stuff in the 90s and early 2000s when phones were in technology wasn't really a huge thing on your phone. It was awesome. Like I kind of escaped that. When I graduated high school, Snapchat just came out. But Snapchat, what it is now, wasn't what it was before. So it was like a little bit more tame. I don't know. I just escaped that. Plus, there was no Wi-Fi really in my school unless you had the administration passwords, which like nobody had. No student had that. And then my particular network didn't have like cell service because the metal roof blocked it. So like I was kind of stuck in like the 50s.
Good.
Yeah, no, I escaped all that stuff. Like I was lucky. I kind of like just came on by.
There were computer rooms when I went to school, like boxes
It was so hot in the computer rooms that one of the guys brought an egg and like cracked an egg and it started to like cook a little bit on a computer.
80s movies.
It was a better time.
Movies. It was a much better time.
Better time. I'll tell you what. Well, glad you guys are here. We got a lot going on today. I'd like to remind everybody we are live over on Rumble. As B. Barrett came in with the 2, says, "Hi, Rumble. Thought you guys might get lonely. Craig never answers Rumble rants. Well, suck it, B. Barrett." How's that sound? Right there. How's that for Rumble rant? Well, we are live over there. Do us a favor, hit the follow button over there if you'd like to join us, as we love Rumble. I think this salty guy likes Rumble as well, right?
Yeah, Rumble's my home base. Yeah, they treat me real well over there.
Good for you. Well, we're closing in on 8,000 followers over there. Why do we love Rumble, Blabs?
Because it grows organically, unlike Viagra.
That's right. Okay. Thanks, Blabs. We also have an X account where you could found out that Salty and Rhino were going to be on the show simply by following us over there at Side Scroller Pod. We also have an Instagram account, don't we, Blabs?
We do, so follow us for memes and clips of the show. Otherwise, some sort of violence upon you and your sandwich.
Awesome. Excellent. Thank you, Blabs. We also have a Kick account, and you can listen to the show over on Apple Podcast and Spotify. And, of course, you can find us over on sidescrollerspodcast.com, which is a great place to get notified every single time we go live. It is built on Locals technology, and, you can find us over there. You can also find the exclusive interview I did with the EA and Microsoft dev who quit the industry because of the insanity that's happening. And it was a really, really fun interview over there. But if you are watching us over on YouTube, do us a favor, hit the subscribe button. Join the 90,800 just normal men looking for common sense in the video game and entertainment space. And let's do our best to get to 1,000 likes and 25 memberships today. Currently sitting at 90,900 subscribers. Let's stink and go right on the dot. Update that document. A quick reminder that we do have some merchandise available for you guys. Our brand new Normal Man t-shirt, if you guys want to go pick it up right now. We also have our great Pride attire. Salty, I know you're going to love this one. Our American Pride attire. Yeah. Great. And of course, my daughter came in today and she goes, "Hey, Daddy, did anybody buy my shirt?" Nobody's bought her shirt in the last few weeks. So everyone, if you want to go pick up the Let Us Skateboard t-shirt, you can go pick it up right now. You know what I told her to do? I said, "Hey, honey, go make a new design." And you know what she did? She's making a new design right now. That's great. So got to encourage that entrepreneurship, which is great. But we got to, like I said, we got a lot going on today. Let's start things off. Blabs, please fill us in on today in video game history.
Okay, so today is August 8th, which means Street Fighter 2010, the final fight, was released back in 1990. We have Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, released back in 2004. And Batman, The Enemy Within, was released back in 2017. And I just witnessed Salty fix his eyebrow with a stick. So that was weird. I'm not sure what that was, but anyway.
What are you doing over there, Salty? I feel like I need to
grooming myself
with a tooth.
Bust them out, everybody. Let's go.
I ain't gonna brush my hair, but I will smooth out these eyebrows for you ladies.
Hey, gotta make sure the doors are crawling this morning.
I just pull at the bottom of my screen as I was reading. I was like, you don't see that every day.
Hey, some quick notes about today in gaming history. Has anybody played Street Fighter 2010? Anybody played that game?
No, but the only reason I know that is because of that AVGN episode of that Street Fighter 2010 thing.
Yeah, man. Rhino, you played that one before?
I honestly can't remember what the last Street Fighter game was that I played. Well, so I'm going to say no, but there's a possibility that I may have.
Okay, so this was on the Nintendo Entertainment System back in the day. Like I said, 1990. And I remember buying this game because I thought it was going to be like Street Fighter. It was a Capcom game, and it was like a tie-in to Street Fighter. It's like the black sheep of the franchise. It was like an action platformer that had nothing to do with it being a fighting game, and they just kind of threw Street Fighter on the table. I got, like, if it wasn't named Street Fighter 2010, it would have been thought of as a really fun game because it had some really cool, like, mechanics to it. What you play is like Ken, but it's really just a guy that they named Ken, and it's like broken story, but it's just like a fun little, like, it was that time in the video game industry where Street Fighter was almost out, And if you look at it, this says it was released in 1990. Street Fighter 2 was released in 1991. I don't think that's accurate.
Well, listen. You're gonna have to like blame gaming history. Yeah, I'm looking at. Oh, it's just the Japan title. That's what it was. Sorry, I forgot to write in there.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Did you the what title?
Japan.
The Japan title.
Japan.
All right. Thank you, Blaz. Appreciate that.
Japan.
Well, look, we got a lot to talk about today. We have some brand new perfume that's about to hit the market, which I'm sure everyone is extremely excited about. We're going to get into this MrBeast stuff as well as Borderlands absolutely bombing. Right off the bat, Flickerbox came in, who works in the Hollywood scene, says Borderlands is a mixed bag, lacking identity, filmed during COVID with 2 directors, Eli Roth and Tim Miller. Originally, it was going to be R-rated. It got dialed back to PG-13. It's a forgettable movie. It is being bombed right now by the critics, if you will. So we'll get into that. Nezinik came in, says the Mr. T Lexify situation thickens. He debunks all.
Yeah, there was some document released. I haven't read it though.
I guess we'll see. Well,
It's a lot.
it's like you said it during the pre-show, Blabs. You said it's like MrBeast and Mr. T Lexify continue to try to one up each other on their day-to-day basis.
Bury each other's like horrible like, stories and everything. Just like, no, his is worse. It's fine. But
Salty, you've been
all of them.
Yeah, Salty, you've been following the MrBeast story, but have you kept up with this Mr. T Lexify guy?
No, I'm not familiar with that character. It sounds not good.
No. The wood chipper also.
Yeah. You know, we do need a wood chipper graphic or wood chipper.
We do. We need like a video or something.
Yeah,
I'm just like,
video to play. Yeah.
we need a wood chipper emote. That's what we need. And chat can just spam the wood chipper emotes.
Right. It seems to be a common occurrence on our show where we're just talking about these freaks.
Seriously.
Speaking of freaks, Clemson came in with the 10. Is Rhino greater than Mazza? Let's go. Clemson, appreciate that. Norm Al Man came in, says if technology and culture stopped changing after the 80s, I wouldn't mind. Thank you, Norm. Maximus says, Ree. Kyle says, licks. Salty crackery. All right, Kyle, thank you. Appreciate that. And Mercenary came in, says Salty Army Commander, Mercenary X reporting in General Salty. Hope the Salty Queen is placated today. Also have supplies and backups, people ready, people. Thank you, Mercenary. Appreciate that. Albert, not a retro, says, where's that clip you opened from? You mean this clip right here?
We're just normal men.
That. do you know that reference, Salty?
No.
Yeah, okay. That is a cartoon, or it's a children's show from the mid 2010s from the UK, where it's a show where this girl is, the co-host is this puppet, and it was an off the cuff remark where they were talking about something, and the puppet just went into this statement about how they're normal men, and we have taken that.
That's where the show comes from.
Yes, that's where the short comes. Like our entire community is just called normal men because that's who we are. We're just normal.
All you normal men out there.
Right. All you normal men out there who are looking at all this insanity going like, that's not right. Like, yeah, that's who we are. So there we are. Dan says, I've beaten Street Fighter 2010 a few years ago. Well, you're better than me because I never did. Aki says, use the wood chipper scene from Tucker and Dale. See if you can find that, Blabs. Maybe we can pull that and get that. Mike says, has Blabs watched Commando yet? I'm going to spoil. No.
Yeah, but I have played as a clone commando a whole bunch of times.
Blabs, we're talking about the movie Commando.
Yeah, and I'm talking about the clone commando.
Salty, I feel like it's important that we're very transparent with our guests when they come on. Blabs has never seen an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie outside of Jingle All the Way.
I've seen bits and pieces of other things.
Right.
Hang on.
Shut up, Rhino.
No, I actually did not know this about you, Blabs. So, you haven't seen Terminator. You haven't
Craig,
seen...
why are you such a dick? Every day you got to do this. You're like, look, I'm not a huge nerd, but Blabs hasn't seen one.
You haven't seen Predator.
No, I refuse to.
Have you seen Kindergarten Cop?
No.
Oh man, how uncultured are you?
Extremely cultured. Thank you.
No, on Harry Potter stuff.
Not just Harry. Listen, everyone just throws that at my face because it's the one thing I really, really know, like the back of my hand. But I know Doctor Who, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Marvel. What do you got, Craig? Retro games. That's it.
As the resident expert
You know-
of Lord of the Rings on the channel, Blabs, have you seen Lord of the Rings in the last 6 months? Because I have.
Yes, I have.
You've seen all 3 of them, huh?
Oh, in the last 3 months, 6 months? No.
Oh, there
Do
you
you know?
go. I'm
So
the
you know all of this stuff, Blabs, but do you know Arnold Schwarzenegger movies?
It's like that completely like crosses out anything else I know about. It's fine. It's fine.
Salty. Well, this has been an ongoing debate on the show. All right. I feel, and Rhino, feel free to throw in here. Lord of the Rings has cultural significance, right? It's well established. But I argue that Arnold Schwarzenegger's cultural significance far outweighs Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, screw your freedom.
Yeah. Yeah, she's gonna be not understanding a whole bunch of memes if you've never. It's almost impressive. It would have been better if you've never seen any of them, but you saw the one that's like ridiculous. Like,
The worst.
Jingle all the way. Oh man. Yeah,
I
no, get to the
honestly at
choppa.
this point I just like refuse to do it just because it pisses so many people off, and I don't cave to bullying. So
Dylan.
I just feel sad for you. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
bully you. I'm just sitting there going, wow, you're really missing out. Don't let stubbornness get in your way of a good
I
time.
agree.
I'm not stubborn.
agree
It's
with
just the
something.
fact that like I'm constantly hounded everywhere I go on like social media. Like it
So-
goes to my own YouTube channel now. They're like,
You-
Arnold. I'm like, are you fucking
You know the
serious
best
right
way. You know the best solution for that is to actually watch an old movie. Like that's
No,
like
I'm not doing it. I'm
just
not
do it.
See,
That begs the question: have you watched a Stallone movie?
I have. I've seen the Rocky movies.
Is that all you've seen?
No, I've probably seen other stuff, but when I was a kid, I just don't remember the titles and things.
I'm
Wow.
Kinda
curious.
blurs.
Have you guys seen Oscar with Stallone?
Uh,
Are you
Is
trying to say the word Oscar?
The movie Oscar. Oscar.
I have seen that one, but I think I know that.
It's a comedy. It's funny. I like that movie. Anyway,
Oscar?
Oscar.
Rhino is right. All you got to do, just like I did, is watch what
it.
the audience demands of you. It,
Why would I do that?
these are not 3-hour epics. These are 90-minute explosions. It's guns
Fun.
and explosions and catchy lines. That's it. And
Yeah.
then you go from uncultured swine.
I am cultured. Thank you very much. You dare
Yeah.
use that word against me, Craig. You
Come
are the
on.
one cultured.
Just do it. Just
But-
start with one. You'll get hooked and you'll want
Right.
more.
No, I will not.
Listen.
So you haven't
Everyone for
seen-
some reason like loves Arnold Schwarzenegger. He just doesn't do it for
Oh.
me, man.
Is that why somebody asked earlier if you'd watch Commando? Or
Yeah, I guess
Commando?
so.
Commando. Commando?
I
Commando?
played as a clone commando though.
That's okay.
You got to
Well,
watch that movie.
This is an ongoing conversation that will continue until Blabs
It's
gives
just
it.
I'm not gonna do it.
Stop.
should do it.
I won't
ridiculous.
do it, Craig.
I'm going to message you every day now. DM you every day.
Have you done it? Have you done it? Have you done it?
Arnie? I'm just going to write one word. Arnie.
Listen, I'm gonna change our emote from your face to just it's the short little handle to put it in is just gonna be stubborn, and it's gonna be a picture of your face. It's gonna be
That's
great.
fine.
It's gonna be wonderful. Speaking of
And the
wonderful, listen. Oh, I'm sorry. Speaking of wonderful, Mazza's missing birthday present says "Oi" with a $100 direct super chat. It says "Oi, salty. Could you wish our friend Mazza a special happy birthday?" And Blabs, could you sing "Strut" by Steven Seagal for Salty in a Jamaican accent?
No.
Well, we're no longer doing the karaoke bar is no longer open, unfortunately. It just took too much time out of the show. But Rhino will sing "Strut" by Steven Seagal for Salty.
No,
Okay.
no, that's not
Okay.
happening.
That's
Hey,
the
give-
real question. Has Blab seen a Steven Seagal movie?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is, but maybe I've seen his face.
Oh my
Maybe
God.
I know who he is, right? But I just don't know his name.
You know what? We just told you his
Steven Seagal.
That doesn't make any sense. I know who he is. I just don't know his name.
I've seen him in movies, but I just don't know who he is. You know.
Oh my
Have you-
He looks familiar. Hard to Kill, Under Siege.
Hey,
Hard to Kill is a good one.
I don't
Okay,
think I've seen these movies.
Fire
Yes.
her. I'm sorry, Blabs.
This is the charm of Blabs.
You can come work for me, but Craig, fire her.
Hey, I'm just saying to tell you this right now. Under Siege there's a scene in Under Siege where the girl pops out of the birthday cake and she's like, everybody who's seen it knows, man. Everyone's like, yeah. It was a high quality scene. All right, look, we can talk about this all day long, right? But there will be a day when Blabs watches one of, and then ultimately the entire library of Arnold Schwarzenegger, Steven Seagal, and Jean-Claude Van Damme movies. But until then, everyone will wait with bated breath. But right now, it's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for hard news.
Hard news.
All right, Salty.
Every time that gets me right in the member berries, man. I love it.
Oh,
should I wish that dude a happy birthday? By the way, I that's $100 bomb. I better fulfill that. Happy birthday, Mazza or Missy Mazza Pizza.
Yeah,
Mazza, you did it perfectly.
And speaking of, by the way, we do have a special birthday wish from Dan Bask. That's a 1 million subscriber, Dan Bask.
Happy, much happy birthday for you.
There you go. Thank you. There's our birthday clip we play for everybody. All right.
No.
Lord of the Rings. Speaking of, as the resident Lord of the Rings expert, which Blabs, one day you'll be able to say that about Arnold Schwarzenegger when you see the movies. Anyways, as the
I don't claim to be an expert of anything.
But I'm saying if you watch the movies, you can then claim it, like me, because I am the resident Lord of the Rings expert on the panel today.
After seeing the movies once, but not offended.
In the last,
hang on, did I miss this? You haven't seen Lord of the Rings?
No, I've seen all of them.
No, Blabs.
Of course I have. I've seen them a bunch of times, especially when I was a kid.
I was about to have a heart attack.
No. It was Craig who only just saw them for the very first time in 2024, but not even he offended. But he somehow thinks it's okay to go and trivialize me on Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, I don't want to take us off topic. Sorry, Craig. I thought I missed it. I thought she said that she hadn't seen him. Anyway, go on.
No. But
I literally have a Hobbit cloak in my closet. Okay.
Well, we can continue to kick Blabs in the nuts continuously about it all we want. But let's go.
Invisible nuts, they're not there.
Yeah. It's an expression, unless you identify that way.
Anyway.
So the second season of Lord of the Rings, Rings and Power, they started promoting it a little bit over the last little bit, and this was interesting, Blabs. You really wanted to talk about this. Why don't you guide us through, as you are the expert of Lord of the Rings?
I'm definitely not. However, this is so bad. First of all, her outfit is disastrous. It looks like, as Disper says, it looks like her who has been eaten.
What is that supposed to be? Is it supposed to be armor? Or...
It looks stupid, like her bandana armor thing going on. Okay, but if not even that, just look at the background. It's so fake and plasticky. It's like, guys, we know this is some $20 set. I mean, look at the trees and the foliage. It looks fake as hell. You couldn't just go film it outside for 2 seconds?
No, of course not. What, Salty? What were you saying? It looks like a what?
It's like a garbage bag.
It does.
It does look like a garbage bag is attempting to eat her vagina. It does.
Vagina monster.
Yeah. All right, nice. Well, we continued here, and there's more here. Some promotional art that has been put out here. This is
oh my lord,
some high quality diversity going on right here, guys. This is some good stuff. We're off to defeat a Balrog in Rings of Power in it, bro. Nice stuff right there. Blabs, anything on this?
I question her hair. I feel like the laws of physics something's not right there.
And
moving tower.
This is, but also too, to me, this is like Lord of the Rings. Do you really see this dressy, even the royals and stuff like that? Yeah, they dress well, but they still don't look so polished. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
These
Maybe-
don't look. Basically, what I'm saying is that the characters in this don't look like they're worn. They look like they've put on a costume and gone out. You know.
Well, wasn't there armor in season 1 just printed? It was printed onto their clothing. It wasn't real armor. Like, that's how bad. But they had like a huge budget for these shows. I think it looks terrible. I'll be honest. I don't really remember seeing really fat characters in the original Lord of the Rings either. So it's like, well, aren't you guys like struggling right now? I don't know. Why are they all overweight? You'd think they'd be like really fit and buff.
Well, these are good questions to ask, Blabs, but this is Hollywood in 2024. We also saw this as well. This, Blabs, you pointed this out. Showed this to my wife who does archery. She immediately spotted this. What am I looking at here?
Her like the string is into her chest. She's pointing the wrong way. Like she's looking differently than what the arrow is pointing at. None of it makes sense.
Share my screen. Oh, it's all right. You got it. I blew it up as well. See how the armor, like the string on the armor, and look at it. It's like bent into it. It
doesn't make any sense. And where she's looking is not where the arrow's going.
This is the thing. In this, it is just obviously a posing picture. And who knows if these pictures were actually taken on set or, you know, just in a photo shoot. I think they're more done sort of as a photo shoot, right? So, but the thing is like, if you're going to have somebody wearing armor, you can't have these discrepancies in the way that looks. Look at the way people pull apart costumes for Batman, you know, or Superman outfits and Spider-Man outfits, and they talk about the way that these things look and everything. You can't have that. Even surely they could have fixed that, but they just didn't even notice it, or they don't even care. But yeah,
the first season, Salty, did you watch the first season of Rings of Power?
No,
you didn't. It was not received very well, if I recall correctly. A lot of people were very upset about it. I was surprised. I mean, well, I'm not surprised it got a second season because didn't they invest like $1 billion into turning this into a? Didn't Amazon invest like $1 billion into this franchise? Yeah, it was pretty nuts. Well, you can definitely see where their money's going, right there. It's promotional work. Way to go. Love that. Congratulations. Let's go ahead and move on. You know, this was interesting. Speaking of streaming services, guys, I want to let you know that there's a new incentive that will allow you to get a year free of Netflix over in Germany. Have you heard about this great incentive?
No. What is this great incentive?
Oh, Salty.
Yeah, you gotta turn your knives in.
Yeah, that's right. All you got to do to get a year of Netflix is to turn in your dangerous knives. Now, what exactly does that mean? I don't know, but is this a dangerous knife?
The memes were going to be great.
Yes, this is a real thing. You turn in Germany, yes. So I think this is a great way to stop knife stabbings and all sorts of stuff that's happening.
Netflix is doing their part to solve crime.
Does that include like steak knives? They could be deadly. That's a dangerous knife. You got to hand in all your knives.
I mean,
sitting there trying to eat a steak with a fork
or a spoon.
What about this one here?
you know, I think they're making Swiss Army knives without the knife now. Have you seen that?
What?
No.
Yeah. Well, listen. I might have got trolled, but this clown world's so crazy. Could you blame me? But I wouldn't put it past them. You get the toothpick, the corkscrew. Why would you leave the corkscrew? You would take the knife. I would leave the corkscrew in, but
no, this is a real thing from NPR.org. New line of Swiss Army knives will come without the knife. Huh?
It's in the name. It's in the name. Swiss Army knife. What are they going to call it? What are they going to call it instead? Swiss Army screwdriver.
They will still have the screwdriver, fear not. Also the nail file, the bottle opener, but not the classic flip-out blade.
That's so ridiculous.
So okay,
This
the
decision
idea.
was made because some countries have increased the regulation of knives in response to violent crime. Here's a thought: maybe get rid of the people doing the crime, not the item. Oh,
Are we going to do away with pins as well? Because I mean, I'm pretty sure I've seen people like I saw John Wick stab a guy in the neck with a pin.
They are mightier than the sword.
Yeah, great point, Rhino. Here's a bigger question for everybody. Salty, what would you be willing to give away for a year's worth of Netflix?
Oh, that's a hell of a prize.
Yeah, I know.
You got me caught off guard.
Listen, I know.
This is making me want to buy more knives, actually. So thanks, Netflix in Germany.
Yeah, it's not even the American Netflix; it's the Germany Netflix. Who knows what's on that?
Well, you wonder if is this a German police thing? Did they go in and did they were like, listen, we have a budget for public safety. What's the best way to do this? We can buy everyone trade in their butter knives and we'll give them
Netflix.
Give them Netflix, right? The best thing we can do is have them inside watching Netflix. That's why they're not dangerous. It's a win-win situation. They don't have their knives and they're inside doing nothing. It's great. It's a wonderful.
To me, that's so funny. Give us your knives and we'll give you a year of Netflix. You know what I'd give up? I'd give up my year of Prime. There, you can have a year of Prime. Give me a year of Netflix.
Yeah, it's great solution, guys. Really, we're really thinking through this stuff, which is awesome. All right, we'll continue as we a day of quick hits today as we fly through the show today, guys. Once again, thanks for popping in. If it's your first time tuning in, do us a favor, hit the subscribe button and let's hit the thumbs up button. Let's get to our goal of 1,000 today. All right, let's talk about our lead story here with Borderlands. This is a movie that was announced a couple years ago, and Borderlands is a franchise. And Salty, you've played Borderlands, correct?
Yeah, the Borderlands series, the first two of them I played a ton of, and it completely, and again, caught off guard, I guess. I had no idea that they were making a movie until I saw I think Nerdrotic tweeted out the 0% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and I was like, that sounds about right. Okay.
Well, it has not been met with the most positive reception at this point. As you said, it is currently sitting at a sweet. Well, it opened at a 0% rating on Rotten Tomatoes and has since been upped. When it's upped to a 4%, things are kind of rough, if you will. Now, some of the reviews for this movie, as IGN says, Borderlands is an abysmal waste of a beloved franchise that takes a kooky band of murderous misfits and drains the life out of their first adventure together. Like that's scathing from IGN. They gave it a 3. A hyper stylized flair of the Borderlands games is replicated only by the most superficial level, and with a PG-13 rating, all the limb-severing gore, dirty-minded humor, and unique deranged themes are replaced by recycled blandness geared towards mass marketability. Yeeks! So Kevin Hart does it again, which is great. We continue. Rolling Stone says, we'd say it's the worst video game movie ever, but that's way too limiting.
Wow.
Yeeks. And yeah, so this has been a reoccurring thing. And I'll tell you what, people have been critical of this. They talk about how it doesn't stick to the games. And I think that if you're making a movie about an IP, you'd want to keep it fairly close. Salty, as somebody who played the games, your thoughts on what you'd expect to see from a Borderlands game or Borderlands movie.
Can you put that screen cap back up so people can see it?
Sure.
Well, stroll down memory lane for these young people out there who don't understand because they're young idiots. Anyhow, Borderlands came out, or the development cycle of Borderlands was done at a very interesting time. They were going for a very realistic. They were going up against games like Rage, and they had to make a tonal shift because their game was going to get lost in the. You were going to lose against id in that. Even though Rage turned out to not be that great, but anyway, you had two exactly identical games that came out looking like Mad Max kind of stuff. and they went through a complete fundamental change of how the game looked. They went to that cell shaded move, and that made a franchise. I mean, that with the gore and the funny stuff, all that. But the visual change that they made saved that game, made a franchise, probably saved, who was it, Gearbox who does this? And then you make a movie and you don't take any of those aspects of it. It's just these assholes like this they continue to do stuff like this. They just try to grift off the name and pay zero respect to the fan base and the people who would like that shift, that the way that game looks right there is not at all put into this movie, as far as I can tell, because I'm not going to go watch this shitty movie. But with the that screen capture of this cast, you guys fucked up right off the bat. It's insane that you're allowed to get away with this, but this is just how this works. They're not interested in making money.
Well, this is what they do these days with all your franchises. They just take it, they label it with whatever it is, whether it be Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, and then they change it. They're just now coming out and starting to admit that it's got like no connection to the game or anything like that.
It's insane. It looks like, I mean, there are people out there who cosplay this franchise, and it looks way better than this. And you guys probably sunk a bunch of money into this. It's insane that everybody involved in this, not only do they not know anything about this franchise, they've never played the game, but they've got absolute disdain for the people who love this game, the people who bought this game and made it available for you idiots to make a movie off of. You hate us, and you will go out there, and I'm sure clips, I'm sure pictures have been come out during it sounds like this has been in development forever. I'm sure stuff came out and people were sitting there going, this ain't gonna work. You're gonna get a 0 to 4% on Rotten Tomatoes. You better change the look of this. And they go, we'll show you. We'll show you, you stupid incels. And then they make it look even more realistic, which is dumb. It's dumb as hell.
Well, I'll say
a good example.
Oh,
sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say a good example of the complete opposite of that was the Sonic movie.
Yeah.
You know, when they brought out that first design and the fans tore him to shreds. And it did. It looked stupid. That first design that they came out with, that first trailer, man, that deserved to get completely shredded. And they changed it. They delayed the movie. They changed it, and they got rewarded for that because the fans are the ones that are going to invest in this stuff. They're the ones that are going to want to go and see a Borderlands movie over and over. Why? The people that have played Borderlands are playing Borderlands. Then they're going to turn their back on those people for what? For the message? Is that what it is? Like, I don't even know what the controversy is because I never really played the game or anything like that. So, Salty, you've played the game. These characters that were in that picture, are they based on any actual characters from the game?
Yeah, they're based on actual characters of the game. I don't know how well they stuck to the storylines of the game. And to be honest with you, I didn't really stick that much to the storyline. It's essentially Diablo with guns in a cell shaded environment. I was just interested in leveling up my character, but those characters are in there. But you can't, again, if you've made it PG, now, much like screwing up the look of the movie, you're going to really mess up the tone. It's super gory. There's edgy jokes and stuff like this. The characters are insane, and making it PG again. You're trying to, again, you've already got an installed base of people that have bought millions of copies of these games, and you're pissing on them so you can appeal to people who don't know anything about this franchise, and they're not going to go watch your stupid movie in the first place.
Okay, so it's funny you mentioned that, and here's the characters in the game versus the actors or actresses that play them. You can see the difference with Jamie Lee Curtis and Cate Blanchett, both younger characters. This has been so the ongoing theme with this game has been this is a movie, or with this movie is this is the movie, and it should be treated as the movie. It's not the game. This is the movie. Trust us, it's the movie, even though it's based off the game, right? And there was an interview that was done by Screen Time where they asked the director about Borderlands and specifically why he chose to cast those people in those characters. So let's kind of take a look to see what he had to say.
Okay.
Why did you decide to go down the route of those changes?
It wasn't about changing age. I'm reading the script and I'm not thinking about the game. I'm thinking about the movie. I'm not.
So there, I think that's like the first thing.
Right off the bat. Just okay. Idiot.
We're 8 seconds in. I'm not thinking about the game at all. So let's go and continue.
Thinking, oh, this person is a certain age in the game. They have to be that. Yes, Tiny Teen is a kid, but for everyone else, I go, who are the best actors? And you're talking about the best actor in the world. You know, you go right to Kate Blanchett. She said yes. Once you have Kate Blanchett, I went to Jack Black to play Claptrap, Jamie Lee Curtis to play Tannis. You know, I do think there's a tremendous amount of ageism in Hollywood, and it's kind of. I understand why people.
What? Seriously? Oh man. This is the thing. All they need to do is adapt it, be honorable to the source material, and they hit a home run. It would be like, remember you know, it's a guilty pleasure sort of thing, but Mortal Kombat, the original, that first Mortal Kombat movie. You know, the second one not so good, but that first one was pretty decent, and it wasn't like, you know, just constant two people lining up to fight. They put a story in behind it and all of this kind of thing, but the characters stuck to the characters. You look at Liu Kang, it looks like Liu Kang, right? At least close enough. You know, you look at Johnny Cage, it looks like Johnny Cage. You look at Sonya, it looks like Sonya. Like, what's so wrong with doing that? Why do they take these IPs and then just completely change it, make it something that it's not? It's mind-blowing to me, because they could just hit a home run. With the fans of Borderlands, they could just hit a home run simply by honoring the source material.
I think you can do that with any established video game or IP. The idea, like you take a comic, like it's such a layup. The idea, because I think people who are fans of these games, IPs, whatever it may be, it turns into a movie. You could literally just turn the movie beat for beat from the source material, and people would go gaga over it. Like, this happens in the game, so we're going to make this in the movie. This happened, you know, and just go beat for beat, whether it's a comic, whether it's a cartoon, whatever it may be. Especially for like, just go down the line. You don't need to add your own personal flair to it along the way. But of course, in a situation like this, you know, he's got, well, there's always some sort of ism associated with this, and here we have the ageism. You know, there's some ageism associated with this. So let's go to continue to see what he has.
I mean, look at that.
The rest.
Just quickly, you know what would be a really good idea for a game developer and a movie to come out around that game would be like, imagine if they did a cinematic universe, but also you've got like play the game, then they tell a story, and then they connect the movie to the next game. You know what I mean? Like, just have it. Anyway, it was just a thought.
Yeah. Flickerbox came in and said the idea of Borderlands was announced in 2011, and it was a pitch and okayed by Gearbox. Right. And to be clear, that's right. Gearbox is totally on board with all this stuff. So Com says, I guaranteed Borderlands ends with Handsome Jack teaser post credits that never materialized because the movie bombs. Com, if we see a sequel to this, it'll be amazing. But
they didn't put they didn't put that dude in there. That's crazy.
Yup.
The thing is, if they don't care enough, to make the first one, you know, good and match up with the source material and all of that sort of thing, why would that stop them from doing a second one? That's my thought process on it. Like, of course they'd green light, no matter whether or not this fails or not. They don't care about the fans. They don't care what the fans say. They don't care what the fans want. They're just making what they want, and they're spending all this money on it and not getting return on investment. It wouldn't surprise me. It's the same thing with a lot of like the Acolyte. I know, sorry to go off and you know and bring up Star Wars, but you know, Acolyte season 2, I can almost guarantee that they're going to do that. You know, because they don't. Yeah, man. I don't want to go off on the Star Wars thing. I don't want to derail it, but it's just the example that I've got is we just had a season of that, and it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if they greenlight a season 2, despite the fact that it was so poorly received and they're losing money on this stuff. They don't care.
Yeah, well, I think the fact that they don't have Handsome Jack in this is probably they thought they were going to get another one, because that's
Yeah,
that's like the best character in the franchise. And if you're not going to put him in it, then it's screaming to me that these idiots thought they were going to get a second movie, and he was going to probably be the main character or the antagonist in that one. But whenever you show a clip of this movie, it's all dark, and it just does not at all have the vibes of the game. The game pops. I mean, they purposely put hyper pink and stuff like that all over the place, and they've missed every single visual tone as far as I can tell. And that's before you get to Jamie Lee Curtis.
But I also just want to like debunk this whole ageism thing that they seem to be saying about Hollywood, because Dame Maggie Smith, Dame Judi Dench, Helen Mirren, Meryl Streep, they constantly get roles. They're in so high demand because they're fantastic actresses. Everybody wants them. And if you want to talk about the ageism, well, maybe Hollywood should stop doing this standard. Like once you reach 35 as a woman, you're out of it because you're no longer hot and sexy because they can't think of you as some minor anymore. So maybe you should work on that instead of being like, oh, we have ageism. No, hire the people for the right roles and then you won't have the problem. It's just they're stupid.
But it's the same thing. It's the same thing with race swapping or gender swapping a character. It's the same argument from the fans. We just want it to look like and the characters be exactly like what they are in whatever it is you're adapting, whether it be a book, whether it be you're making a show out of a movie, you make whatever it is that you're doing. We just want the characters and the lore and the canon and all of that sort of thing to stay true to what it was and not change it and not, that it's the same argument that we're saying in regards to the age thing. Well, I'm not because I don't really care. But, the people that have that complaint that the age of these characters is a problem for them, it's because they want you to honor the source material. It's the same thing, like I said, with race and gender and
it's like if you don't respect the lore, then what are you going to respect, right? Like, what is there to work off if you won't even respect the lore in the first place?
Ageist. He actually said you're ageist. Like, come on, man.
Great point. Why did they not de-age them? That's so true. Like, you have that option. You want to use those actors for everything and not change your mind.
It's the cost to de-age them and make it actually look
true,
good.
But maybe they actually would have saved their own movie now.
Maybe they should just cast. Maybe they should just cast somebody that looks like the character that they are in the game.
Don't be smart.
Well, I'll tell you what. It was really interesting because this movie opened with 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, and then it was up to 4%. So people said, "How did it get up? Who was it?" And it was exposed as Gene Angry Penguin says the only tomato on Rotten Tomatoes is from Grace Randolph right now. So he went out. This is a legacy. I would say at this point she's a legacy movie reviewer. She says it was me from 0% to 4% on Rotten Tomatoes. Whatever, man. I had a good time. Pretty crazy to set your review to post at 3 a.m. and discover you're the only one who liked it. I never played the game, to be fair. So there you go, right? But I do have some bad news for Borderlands, as the score has since gone from 4% down to 3%.
It's gone down.
So unfortunate. Now I thought about going into like some of the and continuing the conversation with some of the worst video game movies ever made. Do you guys want to continue that conversation?
Yeah.
Because I mean, this is very much clearly looking like one of the worst movies ever when it comes to video games. A friend of the show, Uwe Boll, back in the day, he is notoriously known for making really bad video game adaptations. But he was the German director who did a bunch of them, including Far Cry from back in the day, which 2008, Silent Hill and Blood Rain. And but there's a list here from EW.com, entertainmentweekly.com, that talks about some of the worst video game movies ever. Salty, just off the top of your head, do you have any that kind of cross your mind as far as the worst of the worst?
Now that you bring up Uwe, he did a Dungeon Siege movie. It was a Lord of the Rings-esque type affair, and holy balls, I love that movie. That one's a guilty pleasure. Now that you finished Lord of the Rings, you've got to go watch Dungeons. The title's hella long. It's like a Dungeon Siege, Return of the King of Arnia, or something like this.
Flickerbox says, "I work in this movie system, and I know why they do these changes." Well, let's go, Flickerbox. Spit them out. Spit it out. Tell us the truth. Why do they make these changes? Let's go. And by the way, Flickerbox, I did see your email over. I appreciate it. We'll definitely have you on soon. Rhino, do you have any worst, I guess maybe best worst video game movies?
Yeah, mine's a guilty pleasure as well. Street Fighter. It's a great movie and so bad. Or it's so bad it's great.
Right.
Like, yeah.
There are some phenomenal lines in there though. The idea of like, for you, that was a Tuesday for, whatever, the bison line, whatever it was.
Yeah.
It was the biggest day of your life for me. It was Tuesday, it was great. This list includes obviously the original 1993 Super Mario Brothers.
Oh
movie.
man, that is a bad movie.
Yeah.
It's so bad it's good too. That's the thing. Like, I remember loving this movie.
Yep. And by the way, John Leguizamo playing an Italian, how inappropriate. just want to point that out. You mentioned Street Fighter. Third, Rampage, not talked about enough. The idea of making a movie about Rampage, the game, the 1980s arcade classic with starring The Rock.
I completely forgot about that movie. As a video game movie, I mean. Didn't even think of it. Double Dragon.
You're right. Double Dragon is, I mean, God, everything about that movie was so horrendously bad. Postal is hilarious. If you've ever seen Postal, I watched it recently, probably in the last few months, and Postal is so over the top. This is an Uwe Boll movie that it has a cult following at this point. It's almost so bad it's good, and it's so not PC, and I think that's what makes it so great. There's a scene, oh, man, I can't even describe it on YouTube. That's how great it is. But it's phenomenal. The Wing Commander movie. By the way, look at this guy. Remember this guy over here? What's this guy? What's his name? I don't even remember. He was in
He's in Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
Wait, if you scroll down, I think they actually say their names.
Oh, no.
No.
Well, I read his name on the article. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Matthew Lillard. That's what it is. Yes. There we go.
That's the movie where they premiered the Phantom Menace trailer, and I remember going, and I would say maybe 30% of that audience walked out right out. They just bought a ticket to that movie to watch the trailer, and they just all got up and left. Wise decision.
We're out. All right, man. Well, I guess we'll continue to see the progress of Borderlands, the movie. We'll see if it breaks even, if it fails miserably, if people will go see it. But the reviews, not good so far.
Do you know what the budget is on that movie?
Oh, that's a great question. Let me do a quick Google search. Borderlands movie budget.
Man, it could be $10 million, and I still don't think it's making its money back.
Estimated $100 million budget.
Whoa.
That
Okay.
comes from Screen Rant. And they say Borderlands needs to make 300 million to be a box office success.
That's a ridiculous statement to say a box office success at 300 million. If the budget's 100 million, that's just breaking even. I wouldn't say that that's a box office success. To break even is not the goal, right?
Yeah, the goal is to make all the money.
Wow, that's nuts. Okay, well, there we go.
The box office theory projects 13 to 18 million in opening weekend, showing a rocky road for Borderlands' path to box office success.
All right.
Good luck.
You think with $100 million budget they could afford some more lights? Yeah, Salty's right. It is really dark. I saw the trailer, and the first time I heard of it was for Deadpool Wolverine. I was in the theater. I'm like, whoa, they're making Borderlands. They made a Borderlands movie. Okay, whoa, I didn't even know.
They must have taken tips from that Han Solo movie that no one could see because it was so dark and foggy.
It just looks so dark. $100 million, you can afford an extra light, I'm sure.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to another quick story, including some breaking news. Salty, I know we only have you for a little bit longer, so I wanted to get your thoughts on this. I don't know if we're going to get to MrBeast while you're here, but this is interesting. You are a Rumble guy. That's where you make your home base. And over the last couple days, we saw the big lawsuit be thrown down by Elon Musk for the against the advertising cartel. Did you see this lawsuit be levied, Salty?
Yeah, so there's a lot of misinterpretations of this from people out there who are fine with cartels extorting companies based on political persuasion, and they're confused. They think that Rumble and I think because they joined Elon Musk is suing them on behalf of the X platform, and so Rumble, they joined the lawsuit, and they're sitting there going, "What, you're going to sue somebody because they don't want to advertise on your platform?" No, it's not about suing people who don't want to advertise. It's suing people who are engaging in tortious interference. And if you've got a gigantic cartel that is threatening corporations so you got this organization that will threaten you if you're Dunkin' Donuts, for example, and they'll say, "Listen, Dunkin' Donuts, you're not going to advertise on Rumble, and you're not going to advertise on X, and if you do, we'll punish you." That's the crime. That's the issue that people are having, and so that's what Rumble is and X and these people are fighting against right now.
Well, so this has been a lawsuit that was put out there, and Rumble joined in with X on this lawsuit against the Global Alliance for Responsible Media. This is the advertising group here, as including its members. This is according to ZeroHedge.com. CVS Health, Mars, Unilever, talking about that the group abused its influence over marketers and ad agencies to unfairly discriminate against X, prompting an ad boycott. They said these actions were all against the unilateral self-interest of the advertisers. They made economic sense only in the furtherance of conspiracy performed in the confidence that the competing advertisers were doing the same. So there was a message that was put out by Linda Yaccarino, the CEO of X, about it, and it's a couple minutes long. But this came down a couple days ago, and now, friends, right now during our show, we have some breaking news. We have assets for everything, and I love it. This coming from the CEO of Rumble, the World Federation of Advertisers is shutting down Garm after Rumble and X filed a lawsuit against them. So the people that they are suing are just shutting down, which is pretty interesting to say the least. This is from Business Insider. The advertising trade group, the World Federation of Advertisers, told its members on Thursday that it will discontinuing activities for its Global Alliance of Responsible Media initiative following the antitrust lawsuit filed by Elon Musk X against the company earlier this week. Stephen Lorky, the CEO of the WFA, wrote in an email to members seen by Business Insider that the decision was, quote, not made lightly, but that Garm is a not-for-profit organization with limited resources. Salty, as a Rumble man, what's your thoughts on this?
Well, I mean, that's good, but these people are scumbags, and I like the line that they put in there. We're a not-for-profit organization with limited resources. Yeah, that I notice a lot of not-for-profit organizations with limited resources conducting the flow of billions of dollars worth of ad revenue to platforms. That makes a lot of sense to me. No, I think what happened was I'm glad that Rumble joined onto this. And I think these people were definitely afraid of, I don't know, is Elon Musk the richest man in the world, or is he like the second?
One or two, right.
Elon Musk going after these people made them piss their pants, and they don't want to go into a court litigation with Elon Musk, because then they're going to be forced to divulge some of their inner paperwork that's going to show that, yeah, not only are they conducting criminal business practices, but they're doing it. They're doing it in a way that is really impeding people's ability. This isn't about like Dunkin' Donuts advertising on Rumble. It's about people punishing a political persuasion that is standing up to a regime and an establishment that is a threat. And so when you've got PepsiCo and Alpo and Dunkin' Donuts, and you start coordinating billions of dollars worth of ad revenue, these people can starve off platforms that they think misbehave. And so you're left with these tech monopolies that continue to only push, one side of things. I'm not saying my side of things is 100% correct all the time, but let's have a discussion. You can't have a discussion, whether you like ads or not, this is what gets these platforms up and running. And if you can starve them out, then you can starve out an entire way of thinking. And I think that's just a bad idea for humanity.
Well, I think this kind of goes to what Elon Musk said when he was talking about filing the lawsuit. He said, blatantly, it's time to air the dirty laundry, which I think is exactly what they're scared of. Rhino, you got any thoughts on this?
I do find it funny that they completely shut it down. Like, what are they so afraid of that they just shut it down? The lawsuit comes and it's like, boom, nah, we're done. We're done. Like, they're so scared of him. There was something else with Elon where it was on Twitter or on X where he responded to somebody by calling them Professor. Oh, what was the tweet?
Suck on these nuts or something like that.
Yeah. That was my governor.
Best. That was so good. We're going to shut him down. Like, that, all they want is control. Like, that they want control over what you see. They want to be able to censor stuff, take away a bit more of the freedom of speech aspect of what these platforms are supposed to be. We've got the same thing sort of going on here in Australia at the moment. We've got a minister of social media or something that controls what, they tried to, something happened here in Australia. I can't remember. It was big news and it was being shared around on Twitter. And they said that they were going to try and sue Elon and X for allowing this content to stay up. And, I don't know how that's going to go, a lawsuit coming from Australia all the way to Elon Musk, all the way over in America, the land of the free. Like, come on.
Right.
You think you can win that?
Well, I think this is, they clearly didn't think they could win, at least in this situation, didn't think they could win. They clearly, and I think that's, people talk about like, that's what money buys you, is power. And Elon Musk does have power, and he has the power. Fortunately, he's on the side of free speech that will ultimately allow people to push back. And I think this is like a really good metaphor for a lot of this stuff, is the second that somebody was like, nope, they folded. They fold and they're like, well, we can't compete. Right? Of course, because all they do is they puff out their chest. They act like big bullies. You're either with us or against us. And everyone goes, okay, we're with you, until somebody says no. And then somebody says no and they go, okay, I'm sorry. It's like the bully that gets punched in the nose and they say, oh, I'm so sorry. I'll never bully you again. And I think that's exactly what you're seeing in this situation, is they got punched in the nose and they didn't know how to handle it.
Well, they can't control Elon. No amount of money that they could throw at Elon Musk will actually make him change his values. You know what I mean? Like, there's platforms out there exactly like what you're saying, like Facebook. I'm sure there's been admissions that Facebook have done all this, censorship and stuff like that. I know that that's a little bit different from the advertising thing, but it's a sort of similar aspect, right? But with Elon, they just can't control him. They can't make him do what they want him to do. Well, which is a great thing. Sorry.
Speaking of Facebook, as we kind of transition to the next story here, we'll obviously see what happens with this. It seems like the story just died when they're like, "Oh, we're going to shut down now." Sorry, but we'll see kind of what happens with this. And by the way, I think it'll be important for these advertisers to be open, right? There are the same thing that they are upset about, people being labeled, is the same thing that they are doing to these platforms, right? We would never advertise on Rumble because you host X whatever, X, but they'll advertise on YouTube, which has MrBeast, which platforms kid diddlers, it's hypocrisy at its finest. Salty, you just let us know whenever you got a bolt. I'm keeping an eye on that time, but absolutely. So with that said, speaking of Facebook, let's get into our next little thing here, which I think is actually very important. We live on social media, right? Whether it's on X where you can watch a show, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's Facebook or TikTok or wherever, right? Everybody has their social media platforms. We've now gotten to the point to where in Britain, you can now be arrested for retweeting or liking or making a comment on Facebook. There was a video that was passed around over the last few days. Salty, I'm sure you've done something around this or talked about it on one of your streams. Have you seen this video?
Yeah, we were talking about this last night, actually.
Mm-hmm. Rhino, have you seen this video?
No, I haven't actually.
Okay, so Rhino, you live in the colony island built around.
Good enough.
Yeah. So waiting for this to happen for you over there if it hasn't already. But let's take a quick glance at this.
Okay, so
what do you mean I can't have any alcohol?
okay, well I'll tell you. Okay, the time's 20 to 3, 14:40. I'm arresting you on suspicion of improper use of the electronic communications network. I'm just
What?
127 Communications Act. Okay, so you do not have to say that it may harm your defence if you don't mention one question subject which later are in court. Anything you do say may be given evidence. Do you understand that?
So I'm actually being
You're
arrested.
going to be arrested, okay?
Right,
So
and-
you got to the police station.
Right.
Ask you, okay, this is in relation to some comments that you've made on a Facebook page. Okay?
Oh, really? Oh, it's a Facebook crime, is it?
Okay.
Right.
So you need to ask.
So there's the long and short of it. Dude got arrested for posting a comment on Facebook. So for those of you who watch our show are like, I don't understand what they're so upset about with the free speech. Well, now you see a real life example. Oh, I can't believe they don't want to turn over their guns. Well, now you see a real life example of why these two things, the First and Second Amendment, are so important. I'll tell you, Rhino, that's your first time seeing that. I would love to hear your thoughts.
Well, believe it or not, we actually already had a similar thing here in Australia during the pandemic. We had the police break into a pregnant woman, it made worldwide news, broke into that pregnant woman's house and arrested her for talking about a anti-vax rally on Facebook. They go in there and arrest her, and it's sort of like what I was saying before about how they just want more control. They want to be able to censor what you're saying, go along with the ideals of whatever it is that they want to try and push. And man, what if you were just like putting a joke out there and it was taken completely out of context, and then you come and get arrested for literally like a joke because it had some profanity in there, or it had some, I don't know, homophobic comment or something, but it was a pure joke. Like,
yeah, because the bar for what they consider criminal is so low, because it's just whatever you're offended. Like, so he violated a criminal offense for offending somebody. And one of the crazier things that ties in with that clip is they've got one of their head prosecutor or whatever these titles are, and he's telling everybody, even if you're not in this country and you violate this law that we have on the internet of hurting somebody's feelings, we're going to extradite you and drag you here and arrest you. I'm sitting there going, yeah, this is going to really settle things down, moron. Keep going in this direction.
So I'm gonna offend somebody via Facebook over in Britain, and then I'm gonna get arrested and exported from my country to Britain to be charged for a Facebook crime.
Yeah, they're gonna send a boat. They're gonna get you.
Yeah, come and get me back.
Drag you back.
The idea, though, that what is, once again, it goes back to what is offensive, what is considered offensive, right? Because there are people that if you don't use their pronouns, they are extremely offended, right? Is that hate speech? What is hate speech? Where is the line? Where specifically is the line? And why is that line defined by this person or whatever it may be?
That's the thing, though, Craig. You can't define it by one person. Your limits might be further away than my limits. What offends you might not offend me. This is the thing. If you want to have the freedom of speech, you got to have that ability to, unfortunately, you're going to offend people, You've just got to be able to take that on the chin. And that's what we were taught as kids from like the 80s, 90s kids, you know, sticks and stones. Remember that? Like, Jesus, what the hell happened?
You stop, Rhino. Stop with that. Stick. It's funny because I was telling my I told my daughter that a couple of years ago, and because she was, you know, there's some kids at school, blah, 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 they said this and then it's like, well, sticks and stones may break your bones. And I said that. She goes, yeah, but Dad, words hurt. I was like, yeah, toughen up. Like that's the way it works. You know, you got to be able to move past this stuff. Sorry, you know, and it just kind of goes back to whatever happened to like toughen up, Buttercup. You know, like
that's why there's so many snowflakes these days. The Gen Zers, they can't handle the real world. Oh, everything. Like they just can't handle it because they were never taught to toughen up. They were babied and, you know, that they just got their way. It's like the little toddler chucking a tantrum in the store because you didn't buy them a toy. Like that's what they act like these days. It's crazy.
We do have good news from Ian, who came in with the giant $50 Euro monies. He says, there is no speech issue in the UK. I am fine and healthy and have full faith in the competency of the current regime. Long may they reign. Oh, no. Thank you, Ian. Appreciate that for your transparency and bravery over in the UK. Ian, that is massive. Hey, Blabs, why don't you there it is right there. This is the reward you get.
Yay!
Salty just blinks.
Hey, thank you again, Ian. Appreciate that. Enjoy your
remove the comment. You covered them up.
My fault. Salty, I know you got to leave in just a minute, but I did want to get your thoughts a real quick hit here on the ongoings of Dr. Disrespect. So this has been, by all means, fire away.
Let's go down the conspiracy rabbit hole over here, because what is going on with this guy over here? As far as I could tell, he's acknowledged to messaging a minor, which holy balls, that's bad. But have you heard? I'm sure you guys have talked about this probably, that there's this thinking, because didn't Twitch end up paying out his entire contract, which was a big juicy contract. Okay, well, Twitch ain't gonna pay out. Twitch wanted to get rid of the dude, and if you can cut a dude and not pay their contract, that's win-win-win for Twitch. So why didn't they cut the dude after they caught him messaging that minor? And now people are saying that they think that you might have had Twitch employees pretending to be a 17-year-old.
Is a setup.
Yes, as a setup to message the dude. Again, you shouldn't be. You're 30-something years old. You shouldn't be messaging a 17-year-old.
But the payout thing is interesting.
Yeah,
the payout thing makes it really interesting. Like you're right. What was Dr. Disrespect going to do? Say, Twitch allowed a minor into the Whisper network. He could have come out and done that, but then he'd be exposing himself for saying some possibly inappropriate comments to a minor.
And now he's back.
He would have been on the front foot.
He's got that. You got his Twitter header up there.
Yep. So that's the thing.
So he keeps coming back. He has got to release whatever these whispers are. I know that those whispers are attached to his Twitch payout, but he's got to get some lawyers and figure out, if you've got Twitch employees, breaking the NDA, can your NDA still be enforced? And I think there was, what the hell is going on with this dude? I basically want to know, did Twitch employees pretend to be a 17-year-old in order to message this dude? And then did Twitch cover this up? Because that seems like a bit of a crime.
Well, so you look at his timeline, Dr. Disrespect. You go back to his previous full statement on the whole Twitch ban was June 25th. And this is a very big story. And we saw the actions after this statement swift by everybody. All of his partners dropped. He's no longer monetized on YouTube, goes out. He posts a month later, a few days ago, July 31st, him playing chess against checkers, right? And then he updated his header up here, and the header focuses, if you zoom in, includes the his tweet that he made about the whole Twitch ban here. So I think the idea here, and you can only speculate, which is what we're going to do here, and we're going to talk about, is the idea that he knows something. And is he about to lay all his cards on the table? Is he about to move into a checkmate situation where he validates his innocence, if you will? I mean, what's interesting is because in that original statement, the most damning thing about his statement was this. Were there Twitch whispers with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. And once again, remember, this was edited to have minor. He removed minor, and then he added it back in with multiple revisions. Were there real intentions behind these messages? The answer is absolutely not. These were casual, mutual conversations that sometimes lean too much in the direction of being inappropriate, but nothing more. Nothing illegal happened. No pictures shared. No crimes were committed. I never even met the individual. So people talk about the comparison between this and the MrBeast stuff. From our perspective, from my perspective in particular, I think it's just fascinating to see the swift action against Dr. Disrespect compared to the lack of action and lack of statements behind MrBeast. So do you have any Salty, I know you got to go. Do you want to close with anything, and then we'll get to Rhino's thoughts on this?
Yeah, so you just put yourself in a really ridiculous position, YouTube, because you demonetized a guy who didn't even do. Listen, I don't want it to sound like I'm fine with a dude messaging a 17-year-old. The guy didn't do that on your platform. It had nothing to do with anything YouTube related, and you demonetized the guy for that. But your biggest channel has a dude who was allegedly sexually assaulting underage kids in the videos that are still up on your platform. And they seem to be going out of their way to protect the guy. They seem to be nuking a whole bunch of comments. Seems to be the dislike counter. They're now telling you that all of those scripts to find the dislike counter, well, those don't work. Trust us. I don't trust you. You're protecting a dude who was got a pedophile alleged on your biggest channel. Why would I trust you? So the entire thing's fascinating. I like to watch big institutions step on rakes. I hope more interesting fallout continues to come from this. And I'm hoping that channels like yours and the other ones in our community continue to make a lot of money making videos about the stupid wonkiness coming out of this whole kerfluffle. Take that, Blabs kerfluffle. You ever heard of that word?
I have.
Oh.
But have you ever watched an Arnold movie?
Yeah, that's the real question.
All right. Salty, thanks for joining us today, man. Really appreciate you.
Again,
as always, please tell everyone where they can find you, my man.
Don't worry about it. Thank you so much for having me on. Thank you for allowing me to hang out with you guys again. To be a part of Side Scrollers, it's just never ending. It's a tingle up my leg, and look forward to the next one. Thank you. I know. Nice meeting you, brother.
Yeah, nice to meet you too, dude.
Me too. All right, Salty. We'll catch you soon. Okay,
Thanks,
buddy?
Salty.
All right, take care.
Later.
You guys can go find Salty Cracker over on Rumble. What a star he is. Great dude. Always love it. Our conversations with him. Rhino, would love to hear your thoughts on the Dr. Disrespect stuff.
I didn't even think about the connection or the similarity with the MrBeast stuff and how that's been handled so differently. Like, as soon as you said that, I'm like, whoa. Didn't even think about how similar these things are. And there's so much more evidence over on the MrBeast side of things than there is with Dr. Disrespect. Again, I don't want to sort of the same thing as what Salty just said. I don't want to sound like I'm defending Dr. Disrespect in any way for, doing what he did. But in comparison to what we've seen on that other side, like with the MrBeast stuff, it's like, whoa, why isn't the same consequences? They talk about consequence culture and like cancel culture and all of these different cultures out there, but they can't. The hypocrisy is so obvious when you just look at what we're seeing and like look how hypocritical it actually is. Incredible.
It's it definitely, people say it's apples to apples, and I don't think it is. I think it's apples to oranges. As you said, the amount of information that is just blatantly out there when it comes to Beast, specifically when it comes to, you can talk. We're going to talk about all the other stuff with MrBeast here in a second, but specifically when it comes to Chris Tyson, and like there's mounds of evidence there, and the fact that YouTube hasn't come in as swiftly as they did with Dr. Disrespect, with way more coverage of this. I mean, we've seen our channel in particular. We've talked about this pretty extensively over the last 2-3 weeks. We have seen our channel, every single video, literally every single video with MrBeast in the title has been hit with the yellow $sign, which means limited revenue, which means limited distribution. But people are interested in this, and they are still finding the videos. So what that means, though, every single time we have to go in and ask and more or less beg YouTube to watch the video manually, and for them to approve that we didn't say anything that may have kicked the golden goose, if you will. So
the limited ads. When they show the limited ads, they don't tell you what the problem is, do they?
No, they don't.
Because you're not swearing in these videos much, are you? That's the one that gets a lot of them. But again, I think it is censorship. They're obviously trying to protect it. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just wondering what else. Like, is there something in your video that would make it yellow?
No. Not that we know of. I mean, we've used some language along the way, but I mean, nothing that breaks their rules or would make us demonetized by any way, shape, or form. So,
I also kind of want to just bounce in on that and say how much like the streamers have absolutely shit all over Dr. Disrespect, but then backed up Chris Tyson. We can use Pokimane as an example, Valkyrie, where they all absolutely smeared Dr. Disrespect and was like, ow, ow, ow. And the first thing they're saying when Chris Tyson bullshit comes out, and they're like, don't hurt the trans community. And it's like, brother, okay.
You know what'd be really interesting? And this would take a little bit of research, but of the 50 people, I think it was 50 streamers who was in the most recent or one of the more recent MrBeast videos. It was like they did a video where it was about
YouTubers
will win $1 million, whatever it is, something like that, right?
Yeah.
How many of those YouTubers said something about Dr. Disrespect, and how many of those YouTubers have said something about MrBeast? And just do a side-by-side comparison. This one has, this one hasn't, blah, 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 blah. That'd be really, really fascinating. And Flickerbox is right. We're talking about millions versus billions. It's all about the bottom line. Yes, I hear you. I hear you. The amount of
the other thing too, the difference between these two is these other streamers that, went straight after Dr. Disrespect, they know that they've got no chance of ever streaming with him. They can't get any clout from Dr. Disrespect because he plays his video games. He's got his crew. He doesn't do streams like this where he has guests on or anything like that. Whereas the possibilities of something, some collab with MrBeast is a lot higher than it is with Dr. Disrespect. So that could be an element too to why they go after somebody like Doc and not somebody like Beast.
Well, so speaking of Beast, last night I did a stream where there was a new video that was released from Dogpack 404, who a couple weeks ago released a video that had 11 million views on it. It's a non-monetized video. The idea is that he simply wants to expose Beast, what it is, for what their company is. Last night during this video it premiered, it had close to 150,000 people watching the premiere. As it was released, it had about a 52-minute long video, and I'm not gonna lie, it drug on. It kept going and going and going. And the primary topic of the video was a former employee of MrBeast who had appeared in many videos, and they talked specifically about a filming of a one episode that never made it to air. And it was an episode that was built around spending time in more or less solitary confinement. And there was a lot of things that came out of that as far as the working conditions, how poorly the idea was really thought through. and kind of the mental toll that it took on the guy who was in the video. He since left, or he since has not worked with MrBeast, and said in the interview that he hates MrBeast pretty much for what he did to him. And so, but there was some other really interesting things that came out of that. Most notably, that this is from Octopox, who saw this, and this is just crazy. MrBeast hired a offender Pato as a manager for MrBeast Studios, and they knew all about it, and even had a nickname for him called Delaware because he wasn't allowed to be close to the state of Delaware.
Holy shit.
And here is the clip from last night.
He'll be in videos. He'll be in thumbnails. He'll be around. And whenever he is, he's wearing a mask. Why would you wear a mask? Why would you conceal your face? It's like, what are you concealing? That you are a registered sex offender? And that your face can be looked up on a thing? How much more can you literally cover up a sex offender with a physical mask? Like, do I have to, is it more on the nose? Or I don't know why they let him go, because.
So, and it's been confirmed through some other videos that that Beast called him Delaware as well. And in the video, they included screenshots of this person as well. But the big thing was the victim's age in the situation, according to the police report, was between 1 and 11 years old. So this is all publicly available stuff. It was very, very draining to watch last night and listening to this stuff. But once again, it goes back to, when will YouTube say something? When will YouTube do something? When will they say, we don't stand for this? And by the way, they were going back several years. So YouTube has known, MrBeast knew about all this stuff. And he has become the biggest, largest, most profitable creator on the internet. So when will they say something? The answer is probably never.
Never, because that's the money talks. They're getting the most revenue from this one channel. And then obviously all the other channels in the videos that he's done in different languages, like, he is huge for YouTube. The amount of money that they make just from MrBeast is unbelievable. So they're never going to say anything unless they've got no choice. Like, it gets to a point where they've absolutely got no choice. But I guess in their eyes too, it's not really MrBeast that committed any of the crimes. Yeah, okay, he might have had somebody on his on one of his videos, or a couple of his videos, or in some of his thumbnails. Is that really a crime? Like, I don't know. Is that guy out of the state that he's supposed to be in? Is he supposed to be restricted? I don't know. I don't know the details of it. But, I think that they're trying to protect him because it wasn't necessarily MrBeast. It was one of his buddies.
So, it's speaking of this guy, Delaware, this was Jake the Viking, who was a guy on MrBeast who since left and has been very critical of MrBeast. He actually just put a tweet out about this, and I'm going to read this in real time, seeing this for the first time. So let's go and see what he had to say. This was tweeted just a few minutes ago. He said, "Here's the truth. Yes, Delaware is my brother-in-law. Yes, he's an RSO. When he was 21 years old, a 16-year-old girl accused him and others of SA when she was 11. Delaware took a plea deal. That's why there was no jail time, but he still had to register. His nickname isn't Delaware because he can't go back to Delaware. He's from Delaware. That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. He's been back several times. He was hired before I was, and was actually the reason I got hired at MrBeast. Before being hired, Delaware sat down with Jimmy and Sue, Jimmy's mom, and explained to them everything. So yes, Jimmy knew. But again, the incident happened in 2010. Delaware was hired in 2017, 2018. Delaware was also let go from the company before I was. Delaware was supposed to be a behind-the-scenes manager, but in a couple of videos, he was asked to partake because we needed people. He was reluctant, especially in the straitjacket video, because of his charges, and that's why he wore the mask. Delaware's charges are set to be dropped this fall. Delaware has been nothing but a good person, an amazing husband to my sister, and the best father to my 2 nieces that I could ever ask for. They want no part in this and just want to live their lives away from the limelight. I understood why anyone would be upset and frustrated over these allegations, and I do not blame them. Hurting kids in any way is completely unacceptable. But in the case of Delaware, I firmly believe that he did nothing wrong and look forward to the day when these charges are dropped. Thank you.
Interesting.
I do have to say that comment right below from Digital Nomad, if you scroll down, oh, you don't have it. Okay, I'll share mine because that's kind of an interesting thing from MrBeast here. And it says, it doesn't matter what he did or didn't do. Why is he on the list and getting hired to a company that makes content directed towards children? How could MrBeast let this happen? And that's a very excellent question, because if you know he was registered, because you have to know these when you hire people, why are you allowing this if your content is for children?
He allowed it because he explained it to him that he did nothing wrong, that it didn't actually happen. These are just allegations. Though, right? No, I 100% agree. But yeah, that's pretty silly to sort of just take a person on their word. Of course, they're going to try and make themselves look better than maybe they actually are. You don't necessarily know.
I do have questions about this. The idea that the charges are being set to be dropped in the fall. It says Delaware charges are set to be dropped this fall. Why? How? Like, is it, if this happened in 2010, so drop this fall with this? Is this like
years later?
Yeah, it seems odd.
That is actually really odd.
I don't legally comprehend that. So maybe Jake can clarify that further in some tweets. Interesting stuff. Can't be dropped. Charges he's convicted. Can't drop. Well, I don't know. Well,
that's the thing. If it happened in 2010, you would think that he's either been cleared of it already or convicted of the crime. You can't. How are they dropping charges 14 years later?
Yeah, I don't know.
That doesn't add up. Yeah.
What also doesn't add up during the premiere last night of this video was we've seen bots on X, and now it appears the idea that there's been accusations thrown out that last night MrBeast was botting the video last night with comments. That comment specifically came from a number of users. That comment looking like this: from now on, using my content in your videos may result in a YouTube strike leading to the termination of your account. I prefer if we could cooperate and fix these issues in private. You look at other people, these taking the exact same thing, and I don't know if people were copying and pasting these things, or if this was a some sort of setup. Docpacks 404s. Accusations are false. My team and I are spreading positivity and generosity, documenting our efforts transparently. Because it was shown last night that MrBeast apparently was in the chat last night while this was happening and while this premiere was going. And there were several screenshots that were sent out last night, including this one as well. I don't know how you can get the check mark and everything and all that stuff without.
I think those could just be like altered memes. You just you take MrBeast's like screenshot and you just write over it.
Right, but those are from somebody.
Oh, those are real, like on a live stream. How do you do that? I don't think that's possible. I don't think those are real.
Right. No, that was taken from the chat by somebody that I know while we were watching it last night. So, and then there's this, which this person, Rosanna Pansino, has been talking about this quite at length. And she was one of the first out of the gate talking about this. And this has been an ongoing thing as well, saying, I've heard rumors from people working close with MrBeast that he is hiring private investigators to, quote, investigate those speaking up against him. Thank you to the people who reached out to warn me and others. I now have confirmation from several people that individuals are indeed being offered money to fabricate stories about me and others. I have identified some of these people already. They began harassing my friends as of last weekend. I'm keeping all the receipts.
Wow.
I mean, I wish I could tell you that like it's not surprising. And once again, these are all allegations, to be totally clear, right? But would anybody really be surprised in that situation?
No, that's the thing. Well, they're already being protected by YouTube. They're just obviously doing more to try and, I don't know, damage control this thing, I guess. The problem is the more that it gets taught, like the more that he gets involved in it, the more that people talk about it. It's just going to happen. It's a natural progression. You're huge. You're a huge YouTube channel, MrBeast. And these people are going to talk about you because there's controversy around you. And until you can show alternate evidence to the evidence that we've seen in regards to what's actually been going on over there, I don't know.
Right.
But he's already protected by the powers that be because they make all the money off him.
I'll say this: if this is definitely something that the idea of the idea of YouTube, right? It's in the name. It's supposed to be a television network for you. You are the channel, but there's definitely a protected class of individuals on YouTube. There's definitely a tier system, and he is top of that list, man. He is top of that list. And if you don't go along with the narrative, if you don't embrace it, this is just a trickle down effect across. Who's not a part of that a part of that class? You're looking at them, right? And we honestly don't want to be a part of that class. That is insane to think about the knees that have been bent to be a part of that class. And to be clear, I've worked with a lot of people who are a part of that class, who have been the YouTube golden boy at some point. And I've seen their rise to success. And by the way, they are filthy rich at this point. And they sold out for a short amount of time, and now they never have to worry about money again. By the way, I use the word sold out. The phrase sold out. I don't necessarily like that term, right? The term sold out, right? Because I think there is people like, I've sold companies, people like, you sold out, right? It's like, no, I did what was best for everybody, right? In certain situations. And it just seems, I don't know. I don't like using that phrase, but maybe they bent the knee to get to where they need to be. Maybe it's a better phrase. So
the best thing to do is just don't do anything shitty. So you don't have to be a protected person by anyone. You can just don't do anything shitty. Don't message minors. Don't sexually assault anyone. Don't do any of the bullshit that people are being found out for. Just be a good person and be kind. And yeah,
Rhino, stop with your comments. It's ridiculous.
Then you don't need to be protected by YouTube.
Don't be an a-hole. That's it. That's it.
Yep.
Hey, DB Wild came in with a $50. Sorry, 50. There you go. Dollar super chat says Hill all Craggle Rock and Blabtastic Miss Salty. Wah. Yo Rhino, always dig you on Flashcast. Just an FYI, YouTube has been hitting the less money button on channels that even say the name of possible competitions, like the green one with the R. Ooh, interesting. Well, that is a part of our intro every single day. So maybe we'll shut up about that and bend the knee. Thanks, DB Wild. Appreciate that. Everyone go over to the green competition with the R and hit the follow button over there. So we're closing in on 8,000 followers over there, which is great. All right, man, that was a lot. That was fun today. We got a lot. You guys have been great with your support. I feel like we got to definitely hit a lot of these super chats here, which we absolutely will.
Before we do, though, I just want to share something since we've been talking so much about video games and movies.
Yes.
That they are now coming out with another movie based on a video game. Upcoming medieval time traveling action strategy game Kingmakers is getting a live action film from the studio behind myriad upcoming video game adaptations such as Tomb Raider animated series and Dredge film. So that's ironic, considering we were just talking about everything today. This game, I don't even think it's out yet. This game.
Wow.
It's already getting a live action.
I don't even know what Kingmakers is. Never even heard of that.
I've seen a trailer for it and it seems interesting. But yeah, like I said, the game's not even out yet.
Wow.
They should put Arnold in it.
That's right. Then Blab certainly won't see it.
Well, yeah.
I'm tired of it. Tired of this nonsense.
Exactly.
All right, you guys, thank you very much for your support today. Let's read off some of this. You guys, your super chats always drive conversation. But first, let's start with Ian coming in with 10 gifted memberships. Let's go, Ian. Thank you very much. Genuinely appreciate that. Blabs has something to say to you, Ian.
Hey, will?
There you go. Thank you, Ian. You guys got gifted
You're
memberships.
supposed to say it, actually.
Thanks. I'll say ooh woo to Mr. Lion, who came in, was a brand new member. And Mr. Lion, thank you very much. Appreciate that support. That is great. I'm going to start at the back here. Vorik says, Tiny Tina actress got her character inspirations from Harley Quinn. Oh, okay. Thanks, Vorik. Appreciate that. Marksman came in and says, Craig, it's sellout, not sold out. Okay. Now I know. Mercenary says, possible false accusations. Possibly. Who knows? Soy Tanchinkala says, DSP and Kino called you beggars. Monetize haters. Okay. Well, I don't know a whole lot about the Kino thing. I wish I did. I really don't. I
think it's best we don't stay out of their drama, whatever it is. We're better than
I don't know. No, listen, I want everybody to succeed. I do.
Yeah, no, I'm saying we're better than that. Like they want to suck us into the drama and we're better.
Well, we listen, people will call us whatever they want to call us, and it is what it is. But I hope that everybody's successful, because at the end of the day, if everyone's successful, everybody's in a better place. So it was referenced yesterday. DSP went on another show, and people were like, what do you think about it? I think it's great. Awesome. Good. I think it's awesome. So yeah, cool. Awesome. I don't think at any point have I asked anybody for money today, but you know what? I will right now. If everybody wants to super chat, hey, by all means, we would love your money. Fire away. Let's make it right today. Let's go.
Send it.
That's right. Send it home. All right.
Show me the money. You need to get that clip now.
That's right. We do need to show me the money. That's right.
I actually know where it's from. Jerry Maguire.
There you go. Yeah.
Because it doesn't have Arnold in it.
Exactly.
Let's go grab that clip, Blabs. We'll get the show me the money clip and we'll roll it. Artemis says, hey, it wasn't long ago when you millennials were the whiny participation award babies. Right. Thanks, Artemis. Hey, nice cat. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's Charles, Rhino's pussy.
That is.
He's got another one too.
No, excellent. Blabs, why don't you read starting fight with Fight Clowns Fight?
Okay. Fight Clowns Fight for Australian 5 says, make wood chippers great again. Thank you very much for that one. Yep. Where are you that you scrolled all this stuff? I can't even see that. Anyway, whatever. Flickerbox says Borderlands is a mixed bag lacking identity. Filmed during. Why is it not clearing for me? It's anyway, what's that show called that the CL80 is from?
The CL80. Oh, this is from Albert. Okay. I thought you were asking the question. You read that so naturally.
I was reading the question, brother. Anyway, okay. Dan says, hey, y'all. Hey, Rhino, are you going to get that Black Falcon Lego set with Darth Jar Jar and the new UCS, the TIE Interceptor?
No. Is that a thing? Is there actually a Darth Jar Jar?
Yeah,
Lego?
It looks awesome.
No.
Okay.
The next thing that I want to get is the... what is it? It's the Lord of the Rings tower.
Oh, yeah. That looks sick.
Yeah.
Let me get these on locals real fast. Spoon Ninja says, it's 2:00, you mad bastard. Conan is like barbarian Harry Potter. Karen, not a minister, it failed. And then Julie Inman Grant, she is an ex-Twitter employee. Thank you, Spoon Ninja, for those. And back to the YouTube. Wiley says, bye, Chrome. Okay. Orbital says, send all the troons to the Chipaverse. Bird flu says, see you at the patty, Blabs. Mm-hmm. Mike has bad knees. Says, just watch Twins, Blabs. I don't know.
You gotta
Have
watch.
you seen? You got to see Twins.
I don't know. Is that a movie?
Yeah, with Arnold Schwarzenegger in it.
Okay. Honey Badger says, instead of leave Brittany alone, we need a Blabs. Leave Blabs alone. I agree.
Hold on. This is Torgo's right. It says, big talk, hypocrite Blabs. Given the constant hounding you were justifiably granted giving to Craig over Lord of the Rings until he watched them. Yes.
No, I'm gonna actually disconstruct this. So this movie that you guys are all yapping about these movies came out before I was born, right? So it's not my generation. But Lord of the Rings came out this century, which is my generation. And the fact that Craig, who is a 40-year-old man, never saw Lord of the Rings until 2024 when it's come out less than basically over 20 years, 24 years. That says more about you than it says about me. Something that I haven't seen when I was born.
I'm sorry. Hang on. Just to be totally clear, you're talking about movies that have been released in the last, this century. Have you seen The Expendables?
Yes.
Okay. You have seen The Expendables.
I'm pretty sure. That's basically everyone gets blown up, right? That's got Brad Pitt in it and everything.
No, absolutely not.
I swear, that's one of them has Brad Pitt in it, and they all get blown up.
Terminator 3 was released in 2003. Expendable 2010. Collateral Damage, the 6th day, End of Days. Blabs.
My question for Blabs is, sorry to interrupt you, Craig, but I got to jump in here. You said that all these movies came out before you were born.
Yeah, I wasn't not raised on those movies. My parents didn't like them, so I didn't watch them.
Are you telling me that you have never watched a movie that came out before you were born?
No, that's so silly. Of course I have, but
why use that as an argument?
Because why is it being used against me? You have to watch Arnold. The more you tell me to do it, the less I'm ever going to do it. By the way, it was Inglourious Bastards. Thank you, chat.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Inglourious.
That's the one I saw with Brad Pitt. They all get blown up and stuff.
Expendables is Stallone and Statham.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I don't think I've seen that one. Blabs, you bullied Craig I bully Craig for everything. You guys can call me hypocrites all you want. It doesn't matter to me.
Fair is fair. I agree, Vanish. Thank you.
I'm not gonna do it. You guys constantly come and harass me about it. It's not gonna happen.
Go ahead. Side scroll has fallen. The double standard. Blabs gets to bully Craig into watching Lord of the Rings, but won't do it when it turns on her. I'm sad. I'm sorry, Koa. That's called Craig Tegrity, friend.
Yeah.
Let's see Blabs in face.
Yeah, right.
Oh man, time to bully her harder, boys. There we go.
Good luck.
Look at this. Somebody is with you as a normal man, woman. I agree with Blabs.
Thank you. Listen, you guys want to watch Arnold all you want? Go for it. It's not for me. I was not the target audience. So, get over it.
You've seen it. How do you know?
Because I've seen bits and pieces of these movies whenever they were on TV.
No, you haven't.
No, you haven't.
No, you haven't.
No, you haven't.
No, you haven't. Hey, Nathan came in and says, you need to make Blabs watch Running Man as she can Running Man the musical on YouTube. Oh yeah, that'd be fun. It features Arnold singing F.U. the Hunger Games. Really? I haven't seen that. That's great. Thank you, Nathan. Appreciate that. Jason came in and says, The Running Man is based off the Stephen King short story. You like Stephen King movies, don't you? Also, the stream is 500% better with cats. Jason, thank you very much. The cats do appear on stream occasionally from guests, which is great.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right.
His name's Charles.
Nesbitt came in and says the accuser for Mr. T is a massive liar, it seems.
I don't know about that. I've seen lots of the receipts. We've seen him touching this woman. She wasn't a woman at the time. She was a minor.
That Showbiz says Blabs is no longer allowed to make fun of Craig for anything movie related until she educates herself on Arnie and Sly classics.
First of all, I've seen Rocky, so stop trying to expand this. First it was Arnold, now it's Sly. Guys, come on, you're moving the goalposts. Get it together. Get your harassment in line.
Blabs, watch True Lies. Jamie's body was fire. Yow.
Okay, is that the movie with John Travolta also in it?
Oh my god!
No, seriously. There's a movie with John Travolta and Jamie Lee Curtis, and she's constantly swinging around. She looks great. I'm just asking.
Yeah, Arnie and Travolta.
Yes.
What? No, I didn't know it was a movie for Arnold in it. How am I supposed to know? I'm just asking.
Yes, Blabs. True Lies starred on Arnold Schwarzenegger and John Travolta. And
Imagine,
Jamie Lee
though.
Curtis. Yeah, that I mean, just
A
saying.
singer and a weightlifter.
Lyman came in and says, I like Arnold movies as much as the next guy, but Lord of the Rings has influenced seemingly every work of Western fantasy that came to offer. That outweighs Arnold. I don't know. I'm just saying it's worth
I'm with that one.
worth the
You need to
conversation.
watch The Last Action Hero. Is it The Last Action Hero? Is that the name of it?
Yeah, it's a
Last
good one.
Action Hero. That's a good one.
True Lies may be the best one.
I agree.
True Lies may be the best. Albert says there's only 2 reasons to watch Under Siege, and they popped out of a cake. God bless Erica Eleniak, Playboy's Miss July 1989 and Baywatch legend. Let's go. Yes, that was a wonderful scene for young Craig back in the day. GBR.
the VHS tape was stretched because of the pausing.
Oh man. Craig DSP is back bad mouthing you in the side scrollers panel because he wanted another show and felt like he got a fair shake. All right, well, good. I don't know what to say outside of I hope that he feels good about it. It's obvious. I legit laughed when I saw it, and I think it's good for him. I'm seriously glad he got it off his chest. And I'll just say this: if I can turn the coin a little bit. When he used the bison quote that Blabs just learned was a bison quote. The day he appeared on Side Scrollers was the most important day of his life. But for us, it was Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't quite remember, but either way. Good on you, Phil. Good on you. Jason says, has Blabs even seen Crocodile Dundee?
That's not a knife. This is a knife. Yes, I've seen 1 and 2, the only ones that exist.
That's right. With a great intro right there. Albert says, I saw the Lord of the Rings films and paint drying was more entertaining running in the woods. Delete Oaks running in the woods.
Orcs.
Orcs, that's what I meant. Sorry. Oaks. There we go. Stay at Home Hippo came in and says, if the movie is separate from the games, why have recognizable characters from the game? Just a key jangle to trick fans. These actors' choices are bad. Thank you, Hippo. Appreciate that.
Why even name it the thing? Like, it's not even the thing. So anyway,
I agree. I 100% agree. Winterfell says they didn't think about the game with Halo. How did that work out? It's called source material for a reason. The work is already done before you. Yes, thank you, Winterfell. Michael Watts came in and says it's not about money. It's about sending a message. Just ask Disney Star Wars. Scarfy came in and says, all I heard was something owned Jamie Lee Curtis and Kate Blanchett at a job or something. That's right, Scarfy. That's it. Normal Man came in and says, nobody. Hollywood execs. Here's the thing that a lot of people like. Let's not do anything to make them happy or recognize it as a thing they like. That's right. Then he followed up and says, the Borderlands things reminds me of early 2000s superhero movies like X-Men's films where they were embarrassed to represent the character as they were in the comic. Vivi, holy crap, I'm half asleep. And for a second, I thought Salty was Nick Rekieta. No.
Jesus.
Jeez.
The Mystery 809 says, you know what's bad? You know what was bad video game movie? Dead or Alive. It was a guilty pleasure to watch, though.
I think that was on the list of those horrible movies.
A lot of video game movies aren't good, but they're guilty pleasures for a lot of people. You know what I mean? Like, they're all guilty pleasures because they're not really that good.
They're just entertaining.
I'm curious, Craig. Did you see the newest Mortal Kombat movie?
Yeah, I loved it.
You did?
I loved it.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. I know some people hated it. I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it. I didn't like that they created a new character for it, but I thought it was fun. And I do look forward to seeing the second. I'm taking it you didn't like it?
Well, when I first walked out of the theater, no, I didn't like it. I watched it again. It was actually on TV, and I just happened to chuck it on, and I actually enjoyed it more watching it again than I did the first time. I still don't like the idea of the invite being like this tattoo. I didn't like that.
Right.
there was something else that I didn't like. I really didn't like, and it obviously had something to do with the fact that they did create another character as well. And I didn't think that his ability was really all that flash. He just ends up with weapons and an armor plate sort of thing, or armor body. I didn't think it was all that crash hot, to be honest with you. Especially as a descendant from Scorpion. Scorpio.
Yeah, people will take things. People will take things that I say when I say like I like something. They're like, "Oh, he thought it was great." It's like, no, it means I enjoyed my time.
Enjoyed it.
I didn't want to leave the theater. Yeah, it's a good popcorn flick, right? And so it's was it a 10? No. Did I enjoy it? Sure. And I think there's a big difference between the two. But people will take things that you say and they twist them, and that's just the internet, the way it goes.
It's actually a bit the same with Deadpool and Wolverine at the moment. It's one of those movies where if you think about it too much, it sort of falls apart. But if you just look at it as a parody and you just have your dumb popcorn fun, you can have fun with the movie. That's how I sort of see that one. Sort of similar thing. But yeah, I was just curious on what you thought of it. When is this? Is there any plan for when the next one's coming?
Yeah, next year. They've released a few screenshots of it, and it'll be late 2025. So, but they have released a few screenshots of it. They showed Katana and her fan, and they talked about the what's his name, Kyle Urban or something, Urban something. The guy from the board, Carl Urban. He's playing Johnny Cage in it, which will be interesting to say the least.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
Blabs, go ahead and keep going here. I got to make a potty break.
Okay, all right. Sergey says they keep making shit no one likes. Oh, I think he says shit no one likes, and then they gaslight you to avoid bad PR. They just keep ignoring one crucial part. Nobody wants to see it. I agree.
Yep.
Fuckerbox TV says Lionsgate is a horror film studio, and Eli Roth is a horror film maker. This is just a stepping stone for Eli, even if this fails. Huh. Anti-Woke says they made it for PG-13 for a younger audience, then cast old people. Wonder why it failed. Fucking dummies. Dixon says Julia Inman Grant, Australia's e-safety commissioner, a despotic lunatic fired from Twitter by Elon.
Yep.
Somebody else had said that. Ron Locals Just G says Craig Tegrity Jr. is a fun Danny DeVito flick. And then Radial says the UK government are also thinking of banning all social media to tackle what they call disinformation. Yeah, they're insane over there.
Insane.
Cripplehead says the Uncharted movie was a travesty. So I never played Uncharted, but the movie was very for me. So I'm assuming it was actually even worse for people who played the game. Your first sell, hence selling out, sold out equals retire. This is Marksman. Thank you. JR says, chat says pet the cat or else. Yeah, where's Charles? Where'd he go?
He's just chilling over there now.
Elite Nia, this one's for you. You want to read that?
Oh, sorry. Hang on. I don't
know what a Chris Farley voice is.
Oh, Chris Farley voice. Oh man, I can't do a good Chris Farley voice.
Right.
For the love of God, Rhino, pet your cat.
There you go.
I know that's probably really bad.
I think Craig's avatar actually speaks to that.
Yeah, it does. But you know who Chris Farley is, right?
Absolutely. Bebop says, I will sim for Blabs.
You say absolutely like I don't believe you.
Jason says, Blabs hypocrite so much has gone to hypocrite. I don't care.
Do you not know who Chris Farley is?
Rhino has a message for everybody, Rhino.
Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I better not say it too many times because the way my accent sounds it
sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, Rhino, love that. Let's go.
Anzac says Last Action Hero was a horrible movie.
I don't think it was horrible. I don't think it was horrible, but I do think that it is divisive in the Arnold catalog.
It's probably one of his more weaker movies, to be honest with you. But it's still like, again, it's another one of those ones where it's just dumb fun. It's a real Hollywood movie, you know, where he goes through in the theater and he ends up in the film and then they end up in the, you know, it's so.
Yep.
Yeah, out of the world.
It's fun.
Insane Hippie says Oscar was a great comedy movie with Stallone. Now, Rhino, how do you say Oscar?
Oscar.
Oscar. And Money Wilson says, hard to accept anything Blabs says about movies if you've not seen Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. I think what you have to say about that is pretty stupid. Snapple Rai says, I'm jumping in and out of streaming. The YouTube live chat AI summary keeps telling me that chat is bullying Blabs over her movie opinions. Yeah, because I don't like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Do you know who Chris Farley is?
Chris B says, breaking news, show host exhibits double standards and denies accountability for her words. I have not denied anything. Can side scrollers survive the loss of trust? That's on you. Thomas says, ever noticed that Hollywood simply refuses to hire large-busted women these days? It's like they go out of the way to pick the most androgynous. No, they do that on purpose.
Blabs,
But it's not even...
Hold on. I'm sorry, Blabs. You don't know who Chris Farley is?
Should I?
She has no idea. Yes, you definitely should.
You don't know who Chris Farley is?
Oh, him! Yeah, I know his face, yeah. You guys act like I'm supposed to know all these actors' names and everything, but then go and Craig can't even say Carl Urban or Keith.
I love him as the bus driver in Billy Madison. Like, great, fine.
Damn kids, you're always.
Yeah.
Oh, Blab, we're gonna teach you.
For me and Veronica Vaughn got it on. It's like, no, you didn't. He's like, no, we didn't.
No, you didn't. Go ahead, Blabs.
Fluckerbox TV says, Blabs, ever dreamt of a magical ticket transporting into your favorite action movie?
Yeah.
I mean, is that like a quote? Because I thought that was a genuine question. I'm like, yeah, sure.
No, that's the plot of the Last Action Hero.
Right. That's right.
Imagine that. Imagine if you went to the theater and you had this magical ticket and you went to a Harry Potter movie and then you ended up in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, like legitimately.
Absolutely Rudy says, I'll get revenge on you, Craig and Blabs.
Oh, no. Revenge for what? I think that's the most amazing thing. Like, revenge for what? Asking questions?
It's for Adam.
Yes, I know. It's amazing.
Okay, Crimson says, I play video games. I admire this podcast. Hail.
Let's go, Crimson. Thanks.
And Mr. Wilson says, hey, Blabs, why not watch the movie that made Alyssa Milano and Ray Dawn Chong famous? Commando. No other famous people in that movie. Alyssa Milano was made famous because she was on that show. I forget the name of it. What was it? Who's the Boss? Yes, and that's why she's famous, I thought.
She's been in a lot of stuff. Including, she's gone insane for sure. Mercenary came in and picked up 2 shirts, 2 normal man shirts. Says I might as well get 2 of them and be ready for more insanity to the point where we may not. Okay, I don't even think I can say these things on YouTube anymore. But I'll tell you what, a couple shirts, Blabs, give Mercenary some boobs, please, because that's a great. Not you, Blabs, but just saying. You kind of gave me that look like what? The way I said it didn't sound very good, so sorry about that.
Give him some boobs. She just stands up, gets in the camera.
Yeah, no,
definitely never doing that.
Don't do that.
I'm pretty good at hiding myself on the internet.
CG Hero came in and says, don't forget the modern day Gearbox is super woke and they can never put in attractive actors or edgy humor that made Borderlands games great in the first place. Thanks, CG Hero. God damn it! I want a new name. Tip $10 says on Borderlands Roland and Lilith without Mordecai and Brick, Krieg without Maya, making a secondary character, Dr. Tanis, a main one. Jack Black replacing the original Claptrap voice. This is true. And please, for the love of God, Grandma, don't show your cleavage. Thanks. I wanted a new username. Gaming Newfie came in with a 10. Thank you very much. Says, yeah, Gearbox okayed this movie at the time, but they later okayed Borderlands 3. So, yeah, that turd. I don't trust Gearbox's judgment after that quote-unquote game. Thank you very much for that. The Proctophile came in and says, got to show some love to my favorite movie adaptation of a game, Dead or Alive. Genuinely ridiculous, but it's a fun time, and it makes me want to go to the gym every time I watch it. Might just dust off the DVD tonight. There you go, Proctophile. And Fluffy came in with the 10, says, longtime viewer since the Balls for Africa days. I love you, Fluffy.
That was a while.
Yes. Also, Blabs has a fun YouTube channel. Thanks for the fun times. Blabs needs to give Jingle All the Way the best Xmas gift in the galaxy is a chance. Thank you very much, Fluffy. And the odd one, 1993, came in and says, as a normal woe man, I appreciate side scrollers. Keeping it real. Quake 2 and RCT 2 are my two faves. Blabs, I think you would like Quake 2. Also, True Lies is a great Arnie film. I'd start with that as its action comedy gold. Lastly, boobs. Thanks, the odd one. Appreciate you. Thanks for being a normal woe man. Also, over on Rumble. Man, good stuff today, guys. Thank you very much for your support. Make sure I'm getting all these. Let's see. Winterfell says, just wanted to make sure Craig read more Rumble rants. Love the show. Cheers to normal men. Thanks, Winterfell. Appreciate that. General Duality came in and says, let's go Salty and Rhino on Side Scroll today. Rumble told Dunkin' Donuts to shove it. Dunkin' was trying to force Rumble to kick Crowder off their platform for ad revenue, and Rumble said, not happening. Good stuff, Rumble. Impact Average came in and says, hope you normal men are doing well fighting a good fight against these dummies. Thank you very much. James came in and says, salty mohawk. Thank you very much. Impact Average says, I've only seen 4 Arnold movies. What does that make me? Below average.
More cultured than Blabs.
On Arnold Schwarzenegger only.
Revolt came in and says, Trump doesn't do pronouns. What do you think of his Bitcoin plan? I have not seen his Bitcoin plan. Impact Average.
Bitcoin plan?
Yeah, I don't know. Some sort of crypto thing. Impact Average says, modern day cinema suck. Thank you. Impact Average says, England is so soft. And Fundoshin says, Elon isn't on our side. They tried to ruin one of his kids, and he decided to fight back against the system. This is a personal fight for him. We're simply benefiting. Well, I'll take it for now, if I'm being honest. DK Mongoose came in and says, don't talk about the Lord of the Ring influence on films if you're not going to pay respects to TI 1 and 2, Predator, Conan, and Kindergarten freaking Cop. That's right, Mongoose.
Mm-hmm.
And Ad Toxic says, I think I have to join Blabs here. The only Patrick Swayze movie I've seen is Christmas in Wonderland. Also, I can totally understand avoiding something harder the more you're being told to experience it. Yeah, me too. But Lord of the Rings called, and I did it for the fans. That's right. Carnicus
You did it because you are weak, and you caved into peer pressure.
Okay. Carnicus says the air is thick with Roman hypocrisy. Thanks, Carnicus. Appreciate that. And finally, over on YouTube says Carpet University says, I live in a van down by the river. Thank you, Carpet University. Fork says, has Blab seen the movie Big? Yeah, have you seen Big?
With Tom Hanks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saw like a bunch of times when I was a kid.
Okay.
You guys think that I like live in this bubble because I've not seen Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, and it's a lot, guys. Chill out.
Yeah, it is a lot.
But you didn't know who Chris Farley was either.
I don't pay attention to actors.
I understand, Blabs. It's okay. I won't judge you.
I want to change my answer of the worst video game movie to Doom. Doom with The Rock.
Yeah, The Rock in 2, Rampage and Doom.
I hated that movie.
That was it had the they had the BFG, but they called it something else, didn't they? They called it like the big fancy gun. Like that.
Yeah.
It was silly.
Silly.
And Deadpool Kid came into the tent, says, gee, placing cougars and cat ladies in Borderlands as the main characters. I wonder why gamers and normies are cynical about it. Plus, they massacred my boy Creek. Blasphemy. Thank you, Deadpool Kid. Appreciate that. All right. Rhino, tell everybody where they can find you, my man.
You can find me on YouTube, Raging Rhino. I haven't put out any videos in the last couple of weeks. I took a little bit of a break after the Acolyte finished, but I'm going to be getting back into the swing of things. You can catch me on my stream later today. That is in, 10 hours roughly. So, yeah, catch me over there. And you can also catch me on Flashcast. Yeah, over on Yellow Flash's channel every Sunday. Oh, and we've got the Full Aussie. We've got a whole separate channel. So come over to the Full Aussie. Blabs is sometimes there.
On the Full Aussie days.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it. Thank you again for having me. I really appreciate the invite. I always love coming on these streams, even though it is now 4 a.m. I'm getting tired now. But yeah.
Appreciate you jumping through, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, guys. Appreciate everybody popping in. Thanks so much for being a part of our life. We'll be back tomorrow when we're back at it 11 a.m. Central Time as we smooth just right on into the weekend here. Friday, tomorrow, we're going to finish up big. Blabs, who do we have tomorrow on our show?
We have world-class bullshitters Jeff and Red Bandana Gaming.
First timer on the show tomorrow.
No, he's been on with Yellow Flash a couple weeks ago.
You're right. Red Bandana Gaming was on a few weeks ago. That's right. So second timer coming back on the show. With that said, guys, looking forward to seeing everybody tomorrow when we're back at it at 11 a.m. Central Time. I look forward to seeing you guys then. Thank you very much for your time and attention today. And remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. Have a great rest of your day, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Fatality.
Oh, easy, Blabs. Just easy.